Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll show you how to create AI chatbot using Ollama Deepseek R1 models, Spring Boot, Spring AI, React and Vite. Finally, you'll see the output like the current screen. Let's dive in. First step, install and serve Ollama. In this step, I'm going to show you how to download Ollama on your system and install it and serve it as Ollama server. So first of all, go to ollama.com, click on download and download it for your system. As I'm using macOS, downloaded it for macOS. Also, it has different variants for Linux and Windows. Click on download on macOS button and it will download it for your system. I already downloaded it and installed it on my system. So for example, look at it. It's a zip file, and after double click it, it will ask you to move to applications folder. Just do it, and it will install it on your system. It's very simple. So let's quit this. Okay, do not move. Let's quit this screen. Okay, go to terminal and check. Yes, all am already installed. And if you write this command Ollama list, you'll see Deepseek R1 with 1.5 billion parameters are already downloaded to my system. So I can run it for 1.5 billion parameters. Now I'm gonna start Ollama server. To start the server, let's write Ollama serve. It's running with its default configuration, like it's now running on port 11434. On my next video, I'll show you how to configure Ollama server properly. For example, it could be a remote server, how to configure with default models, etc. Stay tuned. Now, let's create a Spring Boot project with Spring Initializer. Go to start.spring.io. I already opened the URL. Configure the project. For our case, I'm choosing Maven for build project. Use Spring Boot 3.4.2, which is a stable version for now. Update the group name. For my case, this is my domain. So artifact LLM API name is also same. Just update the description with LLM project. Choose project packaging or as jar and JTK version to 21. Okay, let's dive in. Add dependencies. Search for the web. So add Spring Boot. Add another dependencies to interact with Ollama. Ollama. That's it. Now generate it. open the download folder. Okay, I already created another one, so let's delete it. Currently, it's under download folder. I'm just moving it to my project folder. Let's open the project with your favorite IDE. For my case, I used Intellis IDEA Community Edition. Let's open the project. Okay, I stored it under projects and GitHub folder LLM API. Open the project. Before dive in, just run it. Yes, it's running on port 8080. So stop it and create our controller. I mean the REST API controller to serve the API. Create a package controller and create our chat control. Okay, it's a REST controller to do that. And I'm gonna sorry, request mapping would be say API LLM. Okay, now first step is to initialize our set client, which will interact with the Ollama server. Okay, so inside our constructor, we're going to write set client dot builder set client set client to build. That's it. Our initialization process has been completed. Now we're going to create very simple chat API. Now let's create synchronous API endpoint to interact with the Ollama server. Let's dive in. Public response entity string serve chat. I'm gonna use path variable for this case and a simple get request. Sorry, get mapping. To chat client dot prompt with chat messages and directly calling it returning the content. It will return the string value, and I'm gonna return response entity dot okay with response. It's time to run our project. Before we start our project, go to application.properties and set the Ollama model. Here I'm using Deepseek R1 1.5 billion parameter model, and it's running on my local machine on port 11434. Also, I did a mistake. I used path variable, but there is no path variable. Set it. Now it's time to run it. Application is running on 8080 port. Let's test it with Postman. I already created a test case uh, at Postman. Let's run it. Yes, first time it's taking some time, but it's working. Look, it gives us the response that Deepseek R1 artificial intelligence created by Deepseek. Okay, let's create another endpoint to stream our Ollama responses to the client. To do this, let's create it public I'm using the library from Java Flux string a similar variable, sorry, path variable, update the gate mapping. This time I'm gonna set string that client dot prompt dot user and dot string. That's it. I already created the chatbot client using React and Vite, and uh, shared the link, repository link in the description. Go to the GitHub repository and check how I configured it with the Ollama server and Spring Boot API. So I'm just gonna show you the tricky part where I developed and handled the streaming data. Look, I'm facing with API URL, and API URL was the dot in file. So the invite environment variable is getting the API URL, and inside the app.tsx file we are just getting the responses and parsing the streams step by step. When any stream data comes to our client, we are decoding it and appending it to the client response. Let's check the output. Also, I created the simple readme file so you can understand how to handle it in our React application and Vite applications. There were some difficulties to configure it. Especially I used Tailwind CSS. So the latest version was a little bit tricky. So I'm sharing the link after this video, and let's check the output. So after opening the URI, we could see the AI chatbot. Let's ask him something. So after sending the text, hi, it's responding with hello, how can I assist you today? Then I'm gonna create a login form. Say for an example, create login form with HTML. Let's see. It's still generating, streaming the messages and sending it to our client, and client is parsing the streaming responses and writing it step by step. So this is working like ChatGPT or Deepseek, and here we can integrate the most of the functionalities like ChatGPT or Deepseek in your own chatbot UI, and we can integrate the backend functionalities using Spring Boot and Spring AI. Thanks everyone, and I'm going to share the repository link with you. Also, I'm sharing it to the video description. Here is the repository and the files. So there were some tricky parts in front end, and here is the front end installations guide step by step. So hope this will help you to getting started your applications. Thanks for watching. On my next video, I'll show you how to integrate Python Fast API with the streaming functionalities. Also, I'll show you how to integrate Ollama server with Deepseek and Llama 3 models with Python and Fast API. Stay tuned. Bye bye.